You know what? You're probably doing things right now that make women imagine being with you, and you don't even realize it. I'm talking about these subtle behaviors that completely bypass our logical brain and trigger something way deeper. It's not about what you say or how you act. It's about these micro moments that make us start daydreaming about you. Number 6 is going to blow your mind because it's something so simple, yet it makes us feel things we can't even explain. Let me show you exactly what you're doing that works. 1. You leave gaps in your story. This is psychological gold, and most guys mess this up completely. When you mention something intriguing but don't elaborate, like, when I was in Colombia, long story, or casually reference a tattoo without explaining it, you're creating what psychologists call narrative tension. Our brains are literally designed to fill in missing information. There's this thing called the curiosity gap that was studied at Carnegie Mellon, and it shows that when information is incomplete, our minds become obsessed with completing the picture. So when you leave those gaps, we start constructing our own version of your story, and guess what? The version we create is usually way more exciting and idealized than whatever actually happened. You become this mysterious figure in our minds, and suddenly, we're emotionally invested without even realizing why. We start daydreaming about who you really are, what you've experienced, what makes you tick. You're not trying to impress us, you're just being naturally mysterious, and that's incredibly attractive. 2. You let her catch you daydreaming. This one is so underrated. Picture this. We're talking, you're completely engaged, and then suddenly you drift off for a moment. There's this subtle shift in your energy, and when we notice and ask, "What are you thinking?" you just smile and say something vague like, "You'll figure it out." What just happened? You created an aura of internal depth. Research in social psychology shows that people who appear to have rich inner lives are perceived as more attractive and intriguing. When you daydream in front of us, we start wondering what's going on in your head. Are you thinking about us? About your future? About something deep and meaningful? This behavior makes us curious about your mental world, and curiosity is one of the strongest drivers of attraction. We literally start thinking about what you're thinking about, which means you're living rent-free in our heads. Number 3. You use future pacing by accident. This is where it gets really interesting from a psychological standpoint. When you casually describe your future, not to impress, but just as natural conversation, something fascinating happens in our brains. You might say something like, "Someday I'll buy a place by the ocean," or "When I go back to Italy, it's going to be wine, cliffs, and no phones." Notice you're not saying "with her," but here's the thing. Our brains automatically place ourselves in your future scenarios. It's called mental time travel, and it's one of the most powerful cognitive abilities humans have. When you paint these pictures of your future, we subconsciously start imagining ourselves there with you. This creates what psychologists call associative pairing. We start linking ourselves with your future plans. Before we know it, we're mentally living in that ocean house or sipping wine on those Italian cliffs. You've gotten us to imagine a future with you without even suggesting it. Number 4, you move like you've got time. Your physical presence speaks volumes before you even say a word. When you sit with good posture, speak with calm authority, don't fidget or glance around nervously, and actually pause before replying, you're communicating something powerful. This behavior triggers what researchers call embodied cognition. Our physical state influences our mental state. When we see someone who's calm and grounded, it makes us feel calmer too. There's actually mirror neuron activity happening where we start to unconsciously mimic your energy. But here's the deeper psychological effect. We interpret this calm presence as emotional stability and inner confidence. In evolutionary psychology terms, these are signals of a high-quality mate. When you move like you've got time, we start imagining how calming and secure it would feel to be in your world long-term. Quick pause. If this is clicking with you, I've got something you're going to want. I put together a cheat sheet called 25 Forbidden Signals She's Secretly Into You. These are the exact micro-signals women give off when they're attractive. Stuff most men completely miss. If you've ever thought, was that just friendly or was she into me? This guide will make it crystal clear. It breaks down the behavior, the psychology behind it, what guys usually get wrong, and what it actually means. It's short, direct, easy to use, and right now it's just $7. Hit the link in the description or the pinned comment and you'll never second guess her signals again. Let's get back to it. Number 5. You say her name, just once, but with weight. This isn't about repeating her name like some cheesy pickup technique. It's about dropping it naturally mid-conversation with genuine intention. I got what you're saying, Sarah. That one moment cuts through everything else. There's fascinating neuroscience behind this. When we hear our own name, it activates the medial prefrontal cortex, the same brain region associated with self-referential thinking and personal identity. It's literally a neurological trigger that makes us pay attention. But when you say our name with that particular weight and presence, it creates what psychologists call a peak moment, a memory that stands out from the rest of the conversation. We'll remember how it felt to hear our name in your voice, and that memory becomes emotionally charged. Number 6, you're kind to strangers quietly. This one hits differently because it's not performed for our benefit. When you hold a door without making it a big deal, thank a waiter genuinely, or let someone merge in traffic without getting angry. And you don't brag about being a nice guy. We notice. This behavior triggers what evolutionary psychologists call mate value assessment. We're unconsciously evaluating what kind of long-term partner you'd be. Your kindness to strangers becomes a preview of how you treat us and the people we care about. Research shows that women are particularly attuned to how men treat people who can't do anything for them. It's a reliable indicator of character. And when we witness genuine kindness, we start imagining ourselves in relationships with that person. Number 7, you make her feel like the exception. This is incredibly subtle but powerful. You're respectful to everyone, but there's something extra when you interact with her. Maybe it's a sharper look, a slower smile, or a slight tone drop when you speak to her. This behavior activates what psychologists call social comparison theory. We start asking ourselves why we're getting this different treatment. What's special about how he sees me? That question creates attachment because we become invested in understanding our unique value in your eyes. The psychological impact is that we start building a romantic or even sexual identity through your perspective. We begin to see ourselves as someone special, someone worth that extra attention, and that's incredibly attractive. Number 8, you have moments of unexpected stillness. This goes beyond confidence. It's unshakable presence. You might pause in silence during a walk, maintain eye contact without blinking or reacting too fast, or stop and observe something without speaking. Stillness is rare in today's world, especially in men. Research in mindfulness and presence shows that people who can be comfortable with silence and stillness are perceived as more emotionally mature and self-aware. In that still moment, we feel truly seen. There's something about sustained, comfortable eye contact that creates intimacy. It's like you're not afraid to really look at us, and that level of presence makes us feel safe and valued. We start imagining deeper connection, even physical closeness. Here's what I want you to do. Think about the last time a woman suddenly started treating you differently after a small interaction. Maybe she started texting more, remembering random things you said, or just seemed more intrigued. Drop that moment in the comments because I bet you were doing one of these things without even realizing it. And hey, if this clicked for you, you know what to do with that like button. Oh, and next video, I'm diving into 8 habits women secretly crave but rarely experience in a man. You're not going to want to miss this one. I'll catch you then.